What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the post-game show, and let me cut off this additional browser in the background. There we go. Just did that. What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm glad everybody is here. Hope you guys are well. I hope you guys enjoyed the game, as did I. And we're going to talk about it, man. Welcome to the post-game show. This is week 3, Texans versus the Steelers, live from Heinz Field. You may see me do this from time to time. I might take a glance. Seahawks and the Cowboys are playing right there. And listen, I will confess, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I love Russell Wilson. I want to watch this game. But we got to talk about the Steelers first. So I'm always open and honest with you guys. Let's do what we got to do here. But I definitely want to get done so I can watch the rest of this game here. Because let's face it, Cowboys, we need to start scouting them. We're going to be playing them in a few weeks or what have you. So anyway, I'm a football fan, guys. But first and foremost, Steelers, how we feeling? 3-0. 3-0. So let's get right to it, man. We're going to do some early how you doings to the early people in here, and we're going to dive right in. Then we'll open things up for the phone, and then that'll be it. Let's see what we got. Eric Rivera, Kegel's Bagel, Darius Deal, Daredevil, Todd Christian, The Mexican Chicken, Afro Thunder, Bill C117. Hello, Mr. Dessa. How you doing this afternoon? Kenny Love and Lanisha. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this afternoon? PDG90. Who else we got really quick? My boy Rel Fax in the building. Who else? Really quick. We'll read a few more names, then we'll get to it. Brother Mark 1992. Rajon 39. What we got? And Lanisha says, hey, Sim, love the music. I'm glad to hear that, guys. And y'all let me know that the music is not too loud. And by the way, I've said this before, but in case you guys don't know, people always ask, all of the music that you hear is produced by myself. So, yeah, that's something that I actually do. I do create beats. So, there you have it. And there'll be more. I got plenty more that I have in the stash, man. I just, But thank you for listening to that and enjoying that. Thank you for that. But like I said, guys, let me know if it's too loud or not, because I want to get that perfect balance for you guys. All right, let's do it, man. My good brother Kenyon is in the building. My brother Tony's in the building. Father-in-law Leonard should be in here in a moment. I'm sure he's watching this game because he hates the Cowboys. But all right, let's get to it. First and foremost, y'all know how we do, right? We're going to talk about the first series, both defensively and offensively. Seems like 3 games in a row, Steelers are winning the toss and we're deferring. Or either the other team is winning, and I don't know. But either way, we've been able to kick off first. So we're going to start with defense. We got a 3 and out. TJ Watt got a hit on Watson on the first play of the game. As you saw that, knocked him down. TJ was like a half second late, but got a good hit on Watson to let him know we about business today. Hilton makes a tackle on second down to bring up a 3rd and 5. And then there was some great coverage across the middle by Cam Sutton on the tight end, I believe on Fells. So that was a great series of downs right there. 3 and out. That's definitely how you want to start, man, if you're at any team. But of course, if we're Steelers fans, we want the Steelers to start off hot and heavy like that. Boom, get off the field. And what you would expect to do is to get the ball and drive down and get yourself the touchdown, right? That's what you would expect. So let's take a look at what they did on the first offensive series. 2 straight incompletions to Eric Ebron. Juju breaks the tackle and lunges for the first down. You guys remember that play? Outstanding effort by Juju. Had he not done that, it would have been 3 and out. So that was great right there. Connor had a couple of nice runs. We got, with Fowler on the move, we saw a lot of Fowler pulling. We're going to talk about the offensive line a little bit later. McFarland gets his first carry early. Did I not say I wanted to see some Anthony McFarland? And we saw him a few times today. Thank you, Pittsburgh Steelers. But McFarland gets his first carry in that first drive for 7 yards. Juju draws a PI on 3rd and 3. And the Steelers go play action and they find Connor on that drive. We also find McDonald for 7 yards. And then Jalen Samuels unable to pick up the 3rd and 1. And the Steelers had to settle for a field goal. Now, I also put that as one of my moments of the game. Didn't come back to bite us, but let me talk about that really quick before I move on. I'm going to give Randy Fichtner a lot of credit later on in the show. But I didn't like how that series of downs ended with Jalen Samuels being the guy getting the handoff. No disrespect to Jalen Samuels. I just didn't like it that early in the game. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't like what I saw early in the game to that effect. Now, I will say this. Randy Fiedner started getting some things moving and shaking later on in the game. We saw a lot of plays that, a lot of mix and a lot of different looks and a lot of different, plays that I hadn't really seen in the past started, showing themselves later in the game. But that early, I just felt like if it's 3rd and 1, I would rather see us bring the beef on the field, hand it off to Connor or hand it off to Snell, put your nose down in there and get the first. I just didn't like, that play with it being Jalen Samuels. And again, we could sit here and argue and we could debate all day whether a play was good or not. We're not the coaches. Nothing's going to work 100% of the time. I'm just speaking specifically from a personnel standpoint. At that moment in the game, I did not like that play going to Jalen Samuels because I just felt like Jalen Samuels wasn't the one to do that. And I felt like that drive was so good. We were moving the ball, and I was like, man, to be held to 3 on a drive that was so promising could have came back to bite us. It didn't, but I definitely wanted to highlight that. All right, so let's go to my key takeaways from the game. Steelers offense not taking advantage of 3 and outs. We saw that quite often. You're going to see me, or hear me rather, read another moment that I documented later in the game where there was a consecutive series of 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs, where the defense was pitching a 3 and out, right? And we did nothing with it. Cannot do that. As good as we want our defense to be, because the defense, first half, they were getting a little picked apart there. We're going to talk about it. But as good as we want our defense to be, we cannot continue to throw them back on the field by not doing anything with a previous 3 and out. You can't do that. You just can't do that. So, definitely that was a key takeaway for me. Here's another takeaway. We all know this, but it needs to be said. Vince Williams is outstanding against the run. Outstanding. Outstanding, I shall say. Where Vince Williams is not so good at, and there's a moment that we're going to talk about here later in the show, is pass coverage. Why? Oh, hold on. Before we get to that, we got to do a few office visits. First up, Mr. Keith Butler. Come on in here, buddy. Come on into the office. Come on, we got to talk. Come on. Close the door behind you. How you doing there, Butler? Defense did pretty good in the second half, but there are some things that I need to talk to you about, sir. Number one, before I get into my biggest pet peeve, I understand that you're trying to have a decent rotation where you're either doing a base defense or you're doing a nickel package that includes Vince Williams, because Vince Williams can tackle. He's a good blitzer. We've seen that. But there comes a point, Mr. Butler, where you have to realize that the opposing offense is going to try to find a matchup when you have him on the field. Now, I'm okay if you're doing it on a 1st and 10. Great. I'm okay if it's 2nd and 5, 3rd and 4 even. But whenever we have down and distance like a 2nd and 8, 7, maybe 9, why do you continue to have Vince Williams out there getting matched up on people he have no business covering? And this is not a shot to Vince Williams. I happen to love Vince Williams. I love what he brings to the table. I'm a nose fan. Yes, sidebar, I am ashamed to say that today after the shellacking. I don't know what's going on with my nose. But I love Vince Williams. But for the life of me, I don't understand, Mr. Butler, why you seem to think, oh, that offense is not going to do anything. They're not going to go empty set. They're not going to spread it out. They're not going to try to get a matchup against Vince Williams. What are you doing? What are you doing? We heard from training camp that Marcus Allen, who had good game today, by the way, on special teams, we heard that he was transformed into a linebacker. Perhaps could we try that out in case there's a pass? Now, I don't know how good Marcus Allen's pass coverage is, but I would lend to the younger legs, if you will. There's a guy that used to play in Pittsburgh that we brought back. Sean Davis, I believe his name is. Perhaps could he come in and play the linebacker position in those type of situations? Now, on third down, you did a better job. You know, we deployed the dime package quite often. We got Cam Sutton out there. But again, sir, the other team is going to also recognize what you're doing and try to exploit it. And it happened quite often. Luckily enough, it didn't really cost us, but you have to stop doing that. You have been doing that for years. All the way back to even the AFC Championship against the New England Patriots, where, yes, an old leg, another Florida State guy, Lawrence Timmons, is caught on Julian Edelman on third down. Do you remember that? Do you remember the game a couple years ago against the Chargers when they came into Heinz Field and we got that big lead? And lo and behold, Keenan Allen was out there abusing linebackers in coverage. I mean, at some point, Mr. Butler, you're going to have to learn this. Before you go, there's something else I need to talk to you about. I didn't want to get to you so fast, but you got me there. How is it that I know that I can turn to my father-in-law and say, this is what we about to run on third down? How is it that I know we're going to do zone all the time? Tell me how. Mr. Butler, how do I know this? If I know this, and my job isn't to game plan against the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't you think someone who's in the business of calling plays against the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't you think they recognize that too? Why do you sit in zone all the time? Mix it up, sir. Mix it up. Because if pressure doesn't get there, guess what's going to happen? You guessed it. You're going to find somebody in the middle of the field. That seems to be a problem for our Steelers. Now, you did something different in that game. I'm going to give you credit for it. We saw Minka lurking down in the box quite often. That you got cute with that. I like that. I think when Minka started taking that, little intermediate stuff away after they started getting us in the first half. So you made an adjustment. And that's what you're supposed to do, sir. But why do you just go with the same plan? Adjustments usually mean, oh, this actually works. So what about making an adjustment for your initial plan? You ever thought of that? I'm just saying. And I understand. Last thing before you go. You don't really want to run man that often because Deshaun Watson is capable of running, and I get it. But you know what you could do? You could go with a spy. You might be able to bring one of those guys that got some faster legs, or Marcus Allen or someone, and bring them in to spy and then go man. When it's 3rd and 8, 9, 3rd and 12. Make him get rid of the ball faster. Don't allow a guy like Watson to be comfortable back there. I'm just saying. Come on now. Now, when it was 3rd and 26 to end the game, yeah, that's when you run deep zone. You play prevent. Duh. Butler, go, man. Just go. We won. So I don't have a whole lot more to say to you. All right? Get out of here. Sorry, folks. Let's get back to it. What else do I want to talk about here? I talked about Marcus Allen. 2 special team tackles. He was big on special teams. This bears a question, folks. I texted this to Kenyon and Tony before the game started when I looked at the inactive report. UG3 inactive. Now, we all know, well, some of you don't know, but coming out of camp, we learned that Marcus Allen was being converted to an inside linebacker after working as linebacker, et cetera, et cetera. Not a huge shock there. Here's the shock value for me. Robert Spillane is getting a helmet over UG3. And I know what some of you guys are going to say, because Kenyon brought up this point as well. Hey, man, he's a good special teamer. Fair. And this is not a shot on Spillane. Not at all. Spillane had crawled his way onto the roster even last year. I think he was a practice squad guy, and now applause to him. But I have high hopes for a guy like UG3. And if you can't beat out Robert Spillane as a special teamer, there's some alerts going off here in my mind. Remember, folks, Marcus Allen didn't play much last year, right? Now, all of a sudden, he's perking up as a special teamer and making tackles. Might have had more than that, but I know he had 2. UG3 can't do that over Spillane? I'm concerned. I would call him in the office, but he wanted the game because he was inactive. I'm concerned about UG3. What also makes me feel like the Steelers might be looking for an inside linebacker very soon, folks. I know we just went way up and got Devin Bush when we did. We're probably going to be looking for another one because remember, we all are expecting UG3 to be Vince Williams. I'm just saying. If you're paying attention, folks, the Steelers are really only using 2 linebackers. That's it. Inside linebackers. Devin Bush, who stays on the field. And when we're in the sub packages, definitely dime. We're throwing dime out there a lot. A guy like Cam Sutton comes in, and it looks like we kind of rotated Minka down there to kind of be that dime backer quite often, lurking down at the box and then, backing out. But sometimes he stayed right there in the intermediate area. Interesting. But when we're in nickel, who's out there? Vince Williams. That is not going to be a good thing for us. Just saying, I'm concerned about my man UG3, man. Hurting me to my heart, man. I don't know what's happening to him. Another thing, good takeaway from the game, man. Big Ben is featuring Ebron. Yeah. I don't want to give myself a pat on the back, but I believe I said in the pregame show I would like to see us get the tight ends going. Got Ebron going early. Got Ebron a touchdown. Great catch by Ebron. Went to Vance McDonald a couple times. This is exactly what I wanted to see Big Ben do. And he done did it. To say it incorrectly. He done did it. Great job, Ben. Great job, Ebron. Because that touchdown, that's one of those concentration catches. And, if Ebron is going to be lined up on the outside, like remember the little out route when we picked up a first down late in the game? If we could get Ebron going like that, oh boy, we going to be dangerous. We're going to be dangerous. We're going to be dangerous if we got to, get guys or safeties to come down and match up with Ebron on the outside. Okay. I'm paying attention. Here's another thing that I'll take away from this game. And it's funny that I say this because TJ Watt kind of slammed this comment in my face later in the game. But what I am noticing that kind of go along with my rant on Keith Butler, we weren't getting a lot of pressure early in the game, man. 4 wasn't getting it done. We weren't getting it done. We wasn't getting it done with 4. And, that left a lot of holes in the zone coverage. So, we got to do a better job of that. We did later in the game. Dupree was a little quiet today. I don't even really recall him having a lot of pressures. Kind of quiet. Wasn't as disruptive, but also they didn't really run the football that much. So, but we did start getting our groove in the second half. Tua gets a nice sack. And like I said, TJ Watt, a huge sack. Huge sack. And I'm going to talk about that later as a key moment. That was key in that last drive by the Texans. Put them in down and distance early. Got them in a 3rd and 21. Then we get them to do a false start, and then the game's over, right? So TJ Watt, that's what you want out of your star. Star players make plays when their number is called. And like my man Tony would call them, lotto stud. TJ Watt is a lotto stud. That's what you want out of your premier guy. Big guys make big plays, right? When you're the big man on the defense, we expect you to make big plays. I tell you who was disruptive, and again, you don't hear his name called quite often, but you got to look in those trenches. That boy Cam Hayward, man. Cam Hayward is a stud every week. That boy Tua got him a sack. Tua come, stepping up. That boy Alualu was playing good. Like, the trenches was all right, man. And again, I don't know if it's because maybe the Texans don't have a great Run game, I don't know. Maybe did the Broncos not have a great run game? I don't know. We know the Giants weren't that great, but it seemed like we are smothering the run right now. So, have no complaints there. Here's another takeaway. Randy Fichtner and Ben Roethlisberger appear to be scared of the quarterback sneak. Not even going to spend a lot of time here, but I'll let you guys sort that out in your own mind. How many times could we have ran quarterback sneak today? I don't know. I guess, like I said, if Tom Brady is still doing it, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know. I already talked about Minkah playing around the box pre-snap. He did that quite often today. Here's another takeaway. Hats off. Let me throw a round of applause out there, man. Round of applause to Randy Fichtner. Mr. Randy Fichtner. Hey, man. Randy. Come on in here, man. Come on in the office. Keep the door open because I want everybody to hear this. Come on in here, buddy. Mr. Fichtner. Now, before I give you praise, I just want to give you the Hawkeye for a minute. I don't want you to fall in love with the success that we had with our power runs today. Let me explain, Randy. When I get on you each week about sticking with the script, it's not that I don't like the plays. Because let's face it, most of the time as fans, even as coaches, we are results driven. If the play works, then we all saying, great play. If it doesn't work, we all saying, that's dumb. I have no problem with the plays that you like. Here's where I have a problem with you. You stick to them when they're not working. Today, at one point, the Texans weren't able to stop that thing. And you go left, you go right, you go left, go back right. Love it. Love seeing Matt Fowler on the move. I really love Matt Fowler and Vance McDonald on the move. Woo, that was looking good. That was looking clean. Here's the funny thing, man. Vance McDonald has improved. Remember at one time we was a little concerned about his blocking, but he's still showing that he's a valuable asset there. Love it. Because on that one play to the left side, that hole was so wide open. I swear I could go out there right now and run through that thing. Muscle memory will kick in. I might have got us 15. Nah, I'm being modest. I would have got us 5. But here's what I'm going to get on you, Randy. Don't fall back into your old habits and keep trying to run that play over and over and over when it don't work. When it's not working, do the other stuff you did late in the second half. You was throwing some plays out there, boy. Taking some chances. Oh, you was in your bag today. And I don't know if it was just you or if it was Ben, but y'all was in y'all bag a couple times. A couple times when I just know you gonna run, play action. How about the end of the game? That you line up, what was it, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you in that big jumbo set? Claypool out there. No, it was 3rd and 9. Oh, I just knew we just gonna run it, kick the field goal. Oh, no. You did something that I've been asking for weeks. You stayed aggressive. Throw that thing in Claypool, and Claypool, using that big body and stature, almost scored. Hey, Claypool, come here real quick. Come on in here, too. I ain't gonna get on you too tough. But I gotta say this to you, Claypool, really quick. Protect the football, son. Protect the football. Job well done today. Played your role the way you did, especially filling in for DJ. But if that ball goes 2 yards further, it's a touchback. Could have been costly. Okay? Great job. Making the guy miss, using your power. Had a couple drops today, too. I know some of them were tough catches, but this is what we pay you for. Some of them, one of them, late in the game, you even got held on. But come on, boy. Catch it. But you did a good job, so you ain't in trouble. But you got to protect the ball, because that could have been a huge swing right there, and who knows what could have happened. All right. See you in Fichtner later. Good. Listen, Fichtner, let me be saying this again next week. That's all I'm going to say before you go out of the door. I don't want to be getting on you. I want to come back and say, I like the play selections. Let's keep it like that. What else we got? Let's see. Second half defense allowed 0 points by the Texans. Round of applause for that, man. See Russell and the gang up 9-3. We'll love to see how it happened. That's all good. Great defense, man. I mean, we made some adjustments and we changed some things. So that's all I need to see. That's all I need to see. The defense woke up and to not allow any points in the second half after how good Deshaun Watson was playing, that is commendable in itself. So great job to the defense in the second half. All right, key moments, guys. I'm just gonna read through these, man. You know, if I have to discuss them, I will, but I don't want to take too much more time. I want to get to the calls and I want to, get up out of here. Key moments. The Steelers were held to 3 on the first drive. Already talked about that. That could have been huge. On a drive like that, listen, I don't expect to score every time. But when you're moving the ball as efficiently as we were, you have to score a touchdown there. You just have to. That wasn't a hard drive at all. Vince Williams caught on Brandon Cooks. Did y'all remember that? That should have been a touchdown. That proves my point. Lord have mercy. Very next play, Randall Cobb beats. Come on in here, Mike. Come on. Mr. Hilton. Great job getting an interception late in the game. However, what's up with you giving up that touchdown, though? Listen, Mike, I'm not the type of guy that thinks that every coverage is going to work or every effort is going to work or you're never supposed to get beat. No, I don't do that. However, I got to see a better effort than that. You can't allow the grass to tie your feet up like that. Come on, Mike. Now, you're a pretty good corner, man. Pretty good slot corner. You're going to make some money. I don't know if the Steelers are going to pay you, but I really like what you do. But I got to get on you about that. That was too easy. Too easy. Get it together, Mike. But that's all I got. Because you did a great job the rest of the game. Nice tackles. I mean, you're always doing something. I even saw you taking on bigger guys on one of those drives. I think it was a third down. The tight end tries to lower his head. Here you come. Boom. Phenomenal player, man. I just, I got to nudge you about getting beat right there the way you got beat. But it's all good. But yeah, guys, that series right there of downs, it should have been a touchdown to Brandon Cooks because, I mean, he literally cooked Vince Williams as he should. Deshaun overthrows it, but that's what I'm talking about. It was too many times when we got caught up with Vince Williams on the field and it was a passing situation. Big Al. You know what? Don't even come in here. I've been on your case for the last 2 weeks. Just hear me and hear me good. I'm going to do this one over the PA system. Big Al, you are now Little Al. Until you start showing more consistency. Now, you played great the rest of the game. But it's not about when you get beat. It's how you get beat. When you have gotten beat, it's bad. It is bad. Little Al, come on, man. You are too big for me to be calling you Lil. Can't be giving up a sack like that, man. Ben got hit quite a few times. Oh, hold on. Not just you. Call your buddy in here. Come on in here, Matt Fowler. Matt Fowler, you played a phenomenal game, but let me ask you a question. What was you doing on that when that kid Wilkins got this? I mean, it was like an Olay job. What was that? Now, again, you playing against a professional. I don't expect you to protect the whole game. But what was that? I ain't even see you fight there. What was that? That was like Olay, literally. There you put up no fight there. Was it a miscommunication or what was it? Ben say something about your mama or something? Did you want Ben to taste a little bit of a hit or what was that? It was no effort there, Mr. Fowler. Other than that, great game, man. You looking good at guard. I'm going to be honest with you. Be honest with you. You're probably going to stay there. Yeah, I don't expect Wisniewski to, yeah. I mean, because you're supposed to be there anyway. And speaking of which, let me talk to the whole O-line really quick, man. Again, I don't have room in the office to bring all y'all in, but over the PA speaker. Great job by the O-line. Chooks a core for it. Man, did you do a job on Big Boy Watt? Big Brother Watt. We ain't called his name at all today. He had a couple tackles. I don't even remember him getting close enough to even see the sweat on Ben Roethlisberger's face. He never touched him. From what I remember. Now, I might have missed a play or two, so y'all help me, correct me in the comments, but wow. Big Chooks. Okay, maybe the Steelers were right when they said we had a 1A, 1B situation at right tackle. Great job, young man. Great job, buddy. All right, what else we got here? Steelers force a 3-and-out after the sack on Ben. Vince Williams gets a sack on that possession. It took the momentum away from the Texans, and that was key, because the momentum was clearly at that point in the game swinging towards the Texans. However, Steelers go 3-and-out right after that. 2 deep shots to Johnson on that drive, couldn't connect. The Steelers were unable to sack Watson on a 3rd down. We allowed him to escape, and he finds Fuller for the 1st down, and then David Johnson scores on the very next play. So that was a critical moment in the game right there for sure. I have another one here where Big Ben gets called for intentional grounding from the 1-yard line. And boy, I was about to call Ben in the office, but I understand. You're under duress, you got to get that ball out. But lo and behold, from the 11, finds Ebron for the touchdown. So he wiped that slate clean. Great throw by Ben. He recognized it immediately. It was like a 3-step drop. Boom, boom, boom. Threw that thing. Ebron went and got it. Beautiful. But critical moment right there. You can't get a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down in that situation. We on the 1. But we made up for it. So that's cool. Steelers forced a 3-and-out after the Ebron touchdown, and then Dupree, Bush, and Watt all converge on a sack on Watson to force the 3rd and long. We get the ball back. And I noticed right here, we'll talk about it really quick. I remember texting Kenyon and I said, hey, you notice that Ray McLeod fielding punts? Remember on that previous drive, Deontay Johnson, took a little bit of a shot. He looked a little woozy. I wasn't sure. He ran off on his own power, but he got up slow. Come to find out, yes, guys, unfortunately, Deontay Johnson is in the protocol for concussion. So let's keep an eye on that, because obviously that's when you start seeing more of Claypool as well. And also, speaking of Ray McLeod, Ray McLeod showed some pop on a punt return. So I'm here to tell you, we got 2 very capable returners, man, in our kick return game right now. Good to see that. Ben finds Juju for the touchdown later on in the game. And then we got to talk about Steven. Come on. It's funny. You standing at the door, you already knew I was going to call you, didn't you? Come on in here, Stevie. Let's talk. I'm going to call you Stevie. Hey, Stevie. I got to call you that because you're kind of playing like Stevie Wonder right now. You acting a little blind out there. No, not that bad, but listen. You didn't give up many touchdowns last year, and this year you've already given up 3. Well, 1 maybe not necessarily your fault. We know the situation against the Giants. We know Hayden was supposed to get over there and help out that, so I'm not really going to charge you with that. But here you are again in the vicinity and giving up a touchdown. I will give you a slight pass, though, because, again, my man Deshaun Watson made a phenomenal throw. Phenomenal throw to Fuller. I mean, let's take another sidebar, because you guys know how I be giving feedback to EA Sports in regards to Madden. Sidebar really quick. Ball placement, shall we say? Did you see where Deshaun Watson placed that ball where only the receiver could get it? This is the stuff we talk about when we say the passing in Madden is not realistic. The ball is tethered to the route. So Steven Nelson, coming back to you, Stevie. I give you a slight pass because that was just great defense. But again, got to be ready for that. He beat you clean off the line. and it was a quick throw by Watson. You give up the touchdown. Get better. I don't want to be having this conversation again. You were one of the strong points of this defense last year. I need you to get back to that. All right? There you go. Let's see. And then basically what I said here also, man, is what I've already said here in the show. I said no pressure equals holes in the zone, equals Watson killing you, equals Nelson getting beat for a touchdown with 24 seconds left in the half. And remember, at that point, they got the ball. I think it was 1:10, I think, or something like that. 1:14, something like that on the clock. And they drive all the way down and get a touchdown. Once again, zone coverage heavy on that drive equaled no pressure equals Deshaun Watson killing you equals a touchdown to over Steven Nelson. And they go into the half 21-17 at that point, I think it was. All right, so really quick, let's fly through these last pieces here, man. Second half, McFarland was featured on the first drive. He went for it on 4th and inches. Ben overthrows Washington on 2nd and 3rd. Ben scrambles for the first down, but was deemed short. And then on 4th and inches, Claypool draws a PI at the 10-yard line. It was 4th and inches. That is huge. I wrote that 3 times there because that was a huge swing. And then, what I got here? We got called for lineman downfield. I didn't catch who it was, but at that moment, kind of messed up the drive a little bit. And then the Steelers were held to a field goal. So again, when you start, man, when you get a PI down at the 10-yard line and you got that many opportunities, touchdown needs to happen. 3 points ain't enough. All right. Right after that, or later on in the game, the Steelers. Oh, here's that that moment I was gonna tell y'all about. Steelers go 3 and out after the field goal. We force a 3 and out after the field goal. Fowler gives up a sack on first down, killed the drive. So we was 3 and out pretty much. We force another 3 and out right after. Tuitt gets a sack on 3rd and 4. Started the next drive at our own 45, and we go 3 and out again. Now remember what I said. The 3 and outs, we're not taking advantage of the 3 and outs. That was 3 consecutive 3 and outs, which could have been critical. Because the defense, not only is it tough, you wear them down. Them boys, once they get tired, they tired. You understand? So, got to be better with that. So then I said, Mike Hilton gets a pick and Watson on 3rd and 15. TJ Watt lit him up on the sideline. I thought Watson was hurt and he might have some little shake up there. Maybe we'll hear later. And then the Steelers put together a strong drive. 12 plays, 79 yards for 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Connor scores a touchdown and we convert the 2-point conversion on an RPO to Juju, which we ran that quite often today. You guys saw that? A lot of RPO action. And then TJ gets a huge sack on the first down, forces a 3 and out. And then last thing I wrote is you got to love the aggressive play calling on 3rd and 9 to get Claypool the first down, as well as, again, you got to hold on to that football. So that's pretty much how I captured everything. Those are my initial thoughts. We got a little bit of time, man. We're going to get some phone calls in here. Overall, guys, I will say this again. It's good to have wins in the midst of mistakes. You know, we're 3-0. We haven't been 3-0 in 10 years. That's crazy. I hadn't even really noticed that. So, you know, as long as we can win in the midst of getting better, I'm cool with that. Very, very cool with that. So, there you have it. Not a perfect game, but not the worst game. So, all right, guys. We have 5 calls in queue, so y'all know what to do. Keep it short. In and out. State your biz. I'll be super short with my replies. And let's get out of here. First call up. Area code 678. What you got for us?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, son.
Yes, sir.
The streak is over, baby. 12 your child. 25 games in a row for the turnover. Ended the day. Thankfully, that ball went out of bounds. That Claypool and went out of bounds in our favor. Now, back to end zone. But the streak is over. We take another victory. We 3-0, like you said. It ain't been like that in 10 years. I'll take it. The offense starts to look a little bit, have a little bit of balance to it. I like the time of protection. This was a great day for the offense. real time-consuming drive. Thought the running game once again, they needed to close it out. They closed it out. The good scored another touchdown, but just class throws, just feels on the rock, which is cool. Nobody got hurt. As far as injury goes, Deontay Johnson in concussion protocol, and Eric Watt with a little hamstring. That's it. In and out of the stadium in the day. So 3-0, 12 talents, man. Enjoy it. Thanks for picking the call.
Yes, sir, man. 3-0, like he said, the streak is over. No turnover. You know what? It's funny. I didn't even pay attention to that, so I appreciate you sharing that. And good timing there on the call. And you sounded a little far away. I don't know if you were on speaker or what have you. So just giving you a heads up. We couldn't really hear you that clear, but I was able to hear you enough. So moving on, area code 814. What you got for us?
Hey, hello. It's a big win for us. On the statistics end of this game, I thought that the turnovers, obviously the streak being over is big, and then only 2 penalties. That was a big sticking point, I thought. And then obviously, I think that Ebron can be the X factor in the offense. I think that we don't have a number one, but we have a lot of number 2s and number 3s in the receiving core, almost like the Texans after Hopkins left there. So, big win, but we got the Titans next. That's going to be a tough game. They're 3-0 I believe, so there you go.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate the call. And yes, I can concur with everything you said, with the exception of one. And I'm going to say this. It's time for y'all to put some respect on Juju name, man. I understand what people are saying about, maybe he's not the number one, but look who we compare. We comparing him to guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. Everybody don't have a number one like that. This team that's playing right now, you know who their number one is? Metcalf. Oh, no, excuse me. Seattle's number one is Tyler Lockett, right? Dallas's number one is Amari Cooper. Juju can be that. Juju is our number one receiver. Let's put a little respect on Juju, man. Juju been doing his thing this year. Ben is spreading the ball around. So the numbers might not be gaudy, but Juju has been a man in the crunch so far. So that's all I'm going to say. But thanks for the call. Area code 803. What you got for us?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Okay, good. Now, I'm glad today that I swear maybe we did 38 runs, 36 passes. I love our balanced offense. I think that was key. That was a good thing. We made adjustments at halftime. That's something that we normally don't do a great job of making the necessary adjustments. We did a great job with that. Hats off to guys like Okafor on the offensive line, who will be our left tackle next year. And I hope. And Mike Hilton, I hope we pay the man for one. So those things really stood out to me. Playing a guy like Deshaun Watson will prepare us for Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson. We held what's his name? About 50 yards in the second half. Mm-hmm. That was tremendous stuff. Thank you so much, and you have a great evening. Go Steelers.
Yes, sir. 803. Appreciate your call, like always. You guys are doing good with the time. We have 4 more calls, so I need y'all to be on rapid time, man, so we can get them all in. But yes, I agree with everything you said there, man. I don't have any complaints, and I think that's what I'm going to start doing, you guys, is kind of just let y'all's comment come off instead of me having to reply all the time, because I'm taking a lot of time up. So it's really just allowing the chat to hear what you guys are saying, not so much of me saying, oh, yeah. Unless you say something I have to chime in on. So let's try that out. Next up, area code 651. What you got for us?
What's up, Sam, man?
What's good, man?
Not much, man. I'm going to try to get in quick. My boy McFarland got some carries.
Yeah.
And once he gets adjusted to NFL speed, we're not seeing sandwich no more. He's gonna be done. I know Claypool played a lot early. That was great. Chuke's balling right now, and between him and Dawson, they're gonna have some decisions to make at the end of the season. And in the first half, our angles of rushing the passer was tough, but in the second half we adjusted, and you saw the difference. So I'm really glad to see that. And the last thing is, Sutton's gonna take Hilton's job. Like, everybody's happy about that pick, but Hilton is rough in coverage. So, I mean, hopefully we can get something changed there. But I'm gonna get off here, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Appreciate you as well, man. Great call. I don't disagree with anything you said there. Wow. Hold on. I'm looking at DK Metcalf real quick, guys. What happened here? Did he fumble? Oh, no. Yo. See, this was almost Claypool, y'all. This was almost Claypool today. He tried to get cute. Run through the line, sir. That's what they teach you. You know what? If he was on my team, I'd bring him into this office. They teach you to run through the line. Well, I'll be darned. That's crazy. Area code 505. What you got for us?
Hey, yo, Sim. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. Yep.
Okay, so, all right. So one thing that I'm so happy with is that we looked disciplined.
Yeah.
No boneheaded mistakes, no silly mental mistakes. We almost did it, but like, I'm just really happy with how we look today. We look poised, no big mistakes, no turnovers, like you said. But y'all might disagree with me, but I think that these games that are close, I don't think that it's good to always blow teams out all the time, because that's what the Ravens are doing.
Yeah.
I feel like when you play games like this, you know where your mistakes are. And the Ravens don't know what their weaknesses are right now, but we do. But I feel like that's gonna pay off for us in the long run. But very good game today. Big Ben played good. The offense, like, it needs work, but that'll take some time. But we're getting better each week. But the one thing is very disciplined football. That's what I love today. We played very disciplined, and the Texans got us a few times, but that's just life. You're not always gonna win. But that's all I got. I'm sorry if I took a little too long, but thank you very much, Sim.
No problem. You good, man. That was a good time. All I would say is this. He brings up an interesting point. I'll let you guys debate that in the comments, but I think I do see where he's going with it. I would love blowouts too, but I get it. I get what he's saying. Like, in at the very worst, it's good to see that you can win those close games, because maybe we are not the blowout team. So I see where he's coming from there. Next up, we got 2 callers remaining, man. First is area code 609. What you got for us?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
What's
just
up,
to be
man?
Quick, Steelers, I felt like we played a balance. I think the game was balanced. I think, we did a good job on both the offensive side and defensive side. We are a few, hiccups and stuff, but, like the last caller said, like, it's football. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. But, looking for the next week, Titans is going to be a problem. That boy, Derrick Henry, that's going to be something dangerous.
Yeah.
Tannehill's going to be dangerous. That defense is looking really scary, so I'm kind of interested to see what are your thoughts on, this upcoming game against the Titans. But everyone played a really good game and stuff, but that's all I got to say. Thanks a lot.
Man, no problem at all, and I appreciate the call. I'm definitely I will be reviewing a lot of the Texans, because I really want to understand them. One of my good buddies is a Texans fan. Titans fan, so I'm sure, we'll trade, a couple things as far as what we think about each team. I just saw something in the chat here. David Muse said Brown wasn't better than Ward. I'm getting sidetracked, but let me just say this really quick, then we'll take the last call. It depends on how you're looking at that. Listen, Heinz Ward is one of my favorite Steelers of all time, just because of what he was. He was the grit. That dude was the epitome of blue collar, do what I have to do, will myself to win. Wasn't the fastest. You know what I mean? Super smart blocker. I mean, what could you not like about Heinz Ward? Even when he was on special teams, made his hay doing that. But where you going with this when you saying he Brown won't better? Are we talking about as a pure receiver? I don't even think that's an argument, fam. I'm just saying. I don't know that's an argument. That's just my opinion. So, and that's me saying, listen, Heinz is one of my favorite Steelers of all time. But are we talking about just receiving? Okay. But again, respect your opinion. Last call of the night. Area code 931. I believe this is my man Box. And yes, I saw them Charlo brothers go to work, man. What's going on tonight?
Hey, man, reporting to you live from a planet called Steelervania. You know what I'm saying? I am Roughhouse Boxing TV. What's going on with you, Sam, man? What you doing?
Nothing much, man. I got to ask you this real quick, and I know that the fans might be mad at us. Have you ever seen a jab to the body do that to anybody in boxing? What happened there?
I don't know, man. I've never seen a jab. I've seen a straight left from Javante Davis. I've seen that before, but it wasn't a jab, and it looked like he knocked that dude's soul out of whack or something.
Man.
I don't know what happened, man. But shout out to the Charlos. Both of them put on a good performance last night.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. All right, what you got on them Steelers, man?
Hey, man, I was going to say to my man that was saying Heinz Ward over AB, hey, man, you craziest cat litter, bro. Real talk. Hey, I love Heinz Ward. Hey, the dude is tough, gritty, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Do what he got to do to make sure that he does what he has to do and all of that. But if you're talking pure receiver skills, you give me AB every day, any day. You know, the only thing was AB was on a team of receivers where in most cases he was the number one option and he was normally the only reliable option. You know, so and then too he demanded the ball so much. So I think being getting him the ball to keep him happy, and he made a lot of good plays out of that, man. It was what it was, man. It worked for us in a lot of cases, man. And two, I hate to sound like Debbie Downer, and I've said this before, but Sim, you know what? It's okay to start fast. Why do we have to wait till minutes left to start get something going? It's okay to score in the first quarter, in the opening drive, whatever the case may be. I'm talking touchdown. Man, hey, push the start. That's what we need for the offense, man. And Juju not being the number one receiver, hey, it has a plethora of reliable options now. The small, and he loves it, and he can distribute the ball everywhere. That's why those numbers, like you said, aren't comparable to DeAndre Hopkins or whoever the case may be, where they're the number one receiver, and then there's a complete drop-off, to the number 2, 3, 4, 5 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Here we have receivers that are all pretty much comparable to each other, talent and skill-wise, man, and loves it, man. So, man, that's what it is, man. Hey, everybody out there, man, if y'all not subscribed to my man Sim, you're slipping on your pimping. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, share, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. And y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet, close the door behind you, and I'm out. G.
Yes, sir. My boy Rough House, man. Appreciate you coming through. The phone was a little off a little bit there too, man. So just giving you a heads up, but I was able to hear you. Listen. Sometimes, and actually let me take these off because it's, we'll wrap up here in a second. You have your favorite players, but you can't let that cloud, you know what I mean? Can't let that get in the way of your thoughts. Pure receiver-wise, come on. I don't even think it's a question who was better. As a receiver, AB not only in Steelers history, AB will actually go down, when you go back and look, as one of the best receivers to ever play. Come on now. And again, opinions are opinions, but sometimes you got to use, statistical data or, facts to kind of say, okay, who did this better? You know what I mean? But again, that ain't no slight to Heinz. Heinz my guy. Heinz is my guy. And real quick, guys, as I'm looking over here, that boy Jamal Adams is a dog, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Man, oh man. I would love to have a guy like that type of demeanor in the secondary, the way he play. Whew. But all right, man, that's all I got, man. Let's get to a few of these comments, and then as I drop my headphones, we'll be out of here. Let me read a few comments, guys. We'll spend the last 4 minutes or so reading comments. Let's see what we got. Yes, Jason Winningham. I do remember that. That was a left hook that I believe Bernard threw on Oscar De La Hoya, if my memory serves me correctly. And yes, but what Charlo did to that kid last night, I ain't never seen that before. It was literally a jab. And the dude's body was like shaking down. He was shaking like, so I'm assuming maybe the body work that he had put in earlier in the fight accumulated or something, but it was a straight jab. I have never seen a jab to the body break somebody off like that. Never. And I mean, I've been watching boxing since I can't even remember. I mean, I'm an avid boxing fan. Yeah, that was crazy. But all right, let's get to some other comments, man. Sippy Boy says, I definitely feel like you don't need a number one in the way we needed it in the past with the volume. And KC has showed that, but it's nice to have one to go to the clutch moments. Yeah, and I don't know what just happened there, guys. My camera went dim on me. Let me adjust that. There we go. I agree. You know, and like Ruffhouse said, we gotta listen. We all have said it. We got a lot of weapons. That offense has very, you know, in a sneaky way, we have become, a potent threat. If we start clicking, especially if Ebron can continue to do that, you know what I'm saying? Claypool is going to emerge a little more as he gets rotated in. McFarland, y'all see how quick McFarland is able to pick up 10 yards when he get out in the open? If we can start adding that dynamic, James Conner, let's give James Conner some credit today. James Conner, regardless of what we like to say about him being injury prone and all of that, James Conner went off, man. And James Conner has put together some decent games so far this year. All he need to do is stay healthy. That's it. And I know, you know, that's a big if, but I'm saying, I've always said this. If Conner is healthy, the boy can play for me. No question. If he's healthy. Then you got Juju. We got Deontay, who I'm sure will be back at some point. But you know what? Yes. Ebron will be the X factor, but you know who else? Because they kind of, he kind of falls under the radar. Guys like Washington. Washington is the guy that I think that will start benefiting from everyone else getting targets. He's going to be the forgotten guy. And we're going to be eating out there. You just wait and see, man. Just wait and see. Let's skip down a little bit. Afro Thunder says, okay, they talking about AB still. We don't need to really go into that. Kegel Bagel said, we got to stop the run against the Titans. Did a great job against the Texans today. Absolutely did. And yes, we absolutely do. Absolutely do. Real Fact says, we are a poor man's Chiefs offense. Less explosive, but weapons everywhere. I don't think I could disagree with that at all, Rel. You might have hit it right on the head right there. We got some weapons, man. Like, if you really think about it. I know we might not have really felt this way coming in, but we got some weapons. CT Pittman says, Conner still runs too upright for me. I mean, that's a matter of an opinion. I can't take that from you. I personally don't have a problem with the way Conner runs the football. That's just me personally. It works for him. I don't know if I have an issue with his technique per se. My biggest thing with Conner is just protect the football. You know, definitely do that. I say that with everybody. And I would like to see him maybe avoid some of the bigger shots if he can. But it's in him. You know, again, this kid is a fighter. Okay? We already know what he fought from. It's in him to inflict punishment. So for me to say for him to get out of harm's way is probably just me talking because it's in him to do that. What else we got? Really quick, guys. We'll take a few more and then we're out of here. Why Diggy says, got to look at the film to see if there were any adjustments on defense or if they just executed better. I'm glad I didn't hear Edmonds' name today. You and me both. And there were times, Diggy, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Edmonds was playing deep. And we were bringing Minka down quite often. Of course, he had help with Sutton, but yeah. Can't wait to look at that film. Juju is the true slot receiver. Yep, that is correct. Y'all, you know what? We saw Ray McLeod out there on the offensive possession. Did y'all see that on one of the motion plays? And obviously Canada is having some effect on the offense because we are running good amount of motion, and I like the things that we're calling off of that motion. It's that whole misdirection of the mind. Puts a little pressure on the defense. Mr. Bergland says, I would expect the team to give Rosie Nix a call depending on what its availability is in the next couple games. Yeah, I mean, do we know exactly what's happening with Derek Watt? And also, it doesn't seem like we go to the fullback enough to need somebody to be there. It was even a play where we put Vance McDonald back there. Y'all saw that? So I don't know if it would require us to go get a position, but I don't know. But what's the latest? Have y'all seen? Because I haven't seen. What's the latest on him? Let's see. Let me get a few more, man, in regards to the game. Then we'll be out here. Certified Sports says offense is only getting better, nowhere near a finished product. And like I said consistently scoring 26 points. Yeah. Constantly scoring 26 points. Yeah. Can't be mad at that at all, man. What y'all saying about Fitzgerald? I missed it. I think you guys are kind of comparing Fitzgerald. I don't know who y'all comparing it to. I missed that part of it. Living Green says, JC James Conner is a contact runner. He thrives on it. It hurts though. Yeah, that's the thing. He is a he's one of them type of dudes. He gonna go get you. And I ain't mad at that, but his body doesn't seem to hold up to it. Yes, that was definitely Jorge Casado. He says, Roby always gets away with PI against us. He held Claypool's arm all the way. Yeah, it was. And even though I said, dang, man, you got to make the catch. But, yeah, he clearly was holding his arm. And then Claypool trying to make the catch with one hand while going down. That's a tough one. All right, guys, I'm going to read one more. Give me something to read, guys. One more, then I'm out of here, man. I'm going to go back over to Lennox, and we're going to watch some more of this game. See what Russell doing. That's my guy, man. I love some Russell Wilson, man. I guess the last one I'll read here. Oh, here's one that just came in. Lucas Donahue says, we can't only throw short passes on third down and long. Only short passes? Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Unless, you got to respect the coverage on the back end too. So maybe, the thought process is get the ball in the hands of one of your playmakers. They make a guy miss. Think about it. What Claypool did to end the game pretty much. So I see what you're saying, but also we always have to remember as fans, there's other things dictating how we approach stuff. Now, if we look at film and we see that the opportunities are there, yes. But if the opportunities aren't there, sometimes you just got to check it down, throw it short. You hope, again, your playmaker makes a play and gets the first down. So there you have it. I'm sorry, I will really read one last one because I didn't see anything from him earlier. Robert Ellison says, I think we got to find us another cover inside linebacker. It's going to hurt us in the long run. Yeah, we have to. And again, we have options, apparently. Marcus Allen has been converted to an inside linebacker. We'll see what his cover skills are like. Okay? You can go 3 safeties. I know you guys ain't going to agree with this, but Sean Davis is on the roster. So I'm on special teams today, but he hasn't gotten any defensive snaps. How could that help out if you have situations where Davis is coming in and he's lurking in the box area, what have you, instead of always pulling Minka down. Or maybe you bring Edmonds down, right, and then let Minka play back deep with a Davis, or we like Cam Sutton back there. But we definitely got to find a better situation in the nickel. That's where it's important. It hasn't hurt us too much in dime because, like I said, you got Cam Sutton out there. You got 6 DBs, and everything's everything. Like I said, we've rotated Minka down. We definitely going to look at this on Tuesday. However, nickel is where my interest lies when it comes to, keeping the 2 inside linebackers for run support and having 5 defensive backs. You can't do the same thing. So I need to find another guy that can be more of the nickel guy instead of Vince Williams. We need to see somebody else there. A Marcus out, somebody. Because they can't do much worse than Vince Williams. And I love Vinny. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, Timmons was the same situation. We saw that. So we should not be repeating history. But Vince Williams does give you huge value against the run, and he blitzes. However, but here's the problem. Offensive coordinators are going to take advantage of that matchup, or they're going to also anticipate he's going to blitz if he's out there. Because they have to know, just like we know, he's a liability in pass coverage. So that's a win-win for the offensive coordinator. Okay, if he blitzes, we got something for that. Okay, if we get the matchup we want, that's who you attack. So gotta find that other piece in the nickel. Okay? So that's all I got. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. Let's check the score real quick. 9-9. About 9 minutes and 42 seconds left. Hour and 6 minutes. We did good today, guys. Great show. It's good to have a win like always. I know there's not going to be perfect, but listen, nobody's perfect. It's good to be 3-0 while you're learning yourself. Great to see. Phenomenal game for the most part. We had some hiccups early, but hopefully these things are correctable. And, we'll take a look, and I'll be taking a look at the film. I'm sure I'm going to rewatch the game, condensed version, probably later tonight, maybe. If not tonight, tomorrow, but then definitely when the All-22 footage is out Tuesday, I'll be watching that as well. So we'll have some things to definitely talk about on Tuesday. But outside of that, if you haven't, guys, make sure y'all do that. How easy is that? Subscribe, click on the notification bell, and hit the thumbs up. That's super easy. If you like to donate to the cause, you can definitely do so. You could do so or could have done so during the show. If you ever want to do that, it's a $ in the chat. You can do what you do here on YouTube. If you prefer outside of YouTube, Cash App is available, PayPal is available. The information is right at the top of the description. So do with that whatever you will, and I thank you in advance. Outside of that, hope everyone has a great remainder of the weekend. Have a good night. Enjoy some other football since our game is over and done with. And tomorrow, let's take a look at them Chiefs and them Ravens, man. See what they looking like. Let's see what they look like. All right? Catch you guys later. Be safe. Be blessed. Be well. And thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel postgame show. Peace.